everybody, it's Molly Yeh here from Girl Meets Farm, and today we are going to be making my sugar cookie mini cakes. They're basically like three-dimensional sugar cookies, and they are so delicious and tons of fun to make. We're going to be using some of my best baking tips to get you through the Christmas cookie season with minimal stress. So if you're baking along with me, make sure you have the proper tools. Get your oven preheated to 350. Have a baking sheet ready with some parchment paper so that the cookies don't stick. You're gonna want some cookie cutters. This set of nested cookie cutters is perfect because you're gonna want all different sizes. A piping bag fitted with a nice large tip that's round, and a rolling pin or a wine bottle if you don't have a rolling pin, and either a stand mixer or a hand electric mixer. Are you guys ready? Okay, let's do this. So first, grab a medium-sized bowl for all of your dry ingredients. And in this bowl, add 3 cups of all-purpose flour, I always like to mix up my dry ingredients first when I'm baking. It makes the process cleaner. You have less dishes to do because then you can use the same measuring spoons for the wet ingredients. You don't have to wash them off in between. And keep your flour on standby too, because when we roll out the sugar cookies, you're gonna wanna use the flour to dust your work surface so that the cookies don't stick. And when you're measuring out your flour, fluff it up first with your measuring cup to aerate it. That way you won't get too much flour. And then scoop it, pile it in, and level it off with your finger or a knife so that you have exactly 1 cup. Okay. Stick your flour aside, but again, don't let it go too far. And now grab your baking powder. And while I'm at the pantry, I'm also gonna get my vanilla extract and almond extract. Adding baking powder to your cookie dough is gonna help the cookies puff up in the oven, and that's gonna make the texture a little bit softer and fluffier. Add 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. It's always important to salt your sweets. That brings out all the flavors and it just tastes really good. And now give these dry ingredients a whisk to combine. It's important to get these combined because you do not want to get any large bits of baking powder or salt in a bite. If you've ever bitten into a cookie where the baking powder isn't fully incorporated, it's not fun. This would be an awesome activity for a holiday party. I love hosting cookie decorating parties. Bake all the cookies first and then get tons of frosting and decorations and stick them on the table, and people can just hang out and decorate cookies together and eat the cookies, and it's so much fun. Okay, how are your dry ingredients looking? Are they combined? Good. Grab your big bowl now. We can set this aside, and now add 1 cup of softened unsalted butter to your bowl. This is so much butter on this plate. This is for the frosting. And to this bowl, add 1 cup of sugar. And now grab your hand mixer and beat the butter and the sugar together until it's pale and fluffy. This will take a couple minutes. Every so often, you can stop and use your rubber spatula to scrape down the sides, and that's to make sure that all of the butter and the sugar gets incorporated. This cookie dough is just a basic sugar cookie dough. You can use this for any kind of cutout, even sandwich cookies or Linzer cookies. It's really delicious and super easy to make. Now, once your mixture is looking nice and fluffy, grab your egg. And crack your egg right in. And then also add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then ½ a teaspoon of almond extract. Now, I love the flavor of almond extract. I could have it in every single thing and not get sick of it. It smells so good. If you're not wild about it, just use vanilla, that's fine. Now mix this until the egg and the extracts have combined into the butter and sugar. And now it's time to add our dry ingredients. So gradually add the flour mixture. Do it in batches just to make sure that it doesn't go flying everywhere in the kitchen. So add about 1/3 of it first. And now we'll mix that in. And start your mixer on low. If you put it on too high right off the bat, flour will be flying everywhere in your kitchen, and you don't want that. And once all the flour is combined, or most of it at least, you can add another 1/3 of the flour mixture. And again, mix it in. Can you smell that vanilla? It smells so good. I love sugar cookies, especially around the holidays. I like them even more than gingerbread cookies. Add the rest of your dry ingredients. And now mix this in. How is your dough looking? Okay, if it's looking crumbly, that's how it should look. Once everything is combined, I want you to stop your mixer, and then you can just use your hands to bring everything together into a dough. Doesn't it feel so nice and soft? Now, once your dough has come together like this, you can lose your big bowl. And now divide it in half. And that's because we're only really gonna be working with half of the dough at once, and you wanna keep the other half cold. You don't want it to overheat, otherwise it's gonna be difficult to work with and cut out into your shapes. And if you wanted to prep this dough ahead of time, like 1 or 2 days, you could wrap it all in plastic wrap and keep it in the refrigerator. But right now, we're gonna be working with half, so keep half of it on your counter and grab some plastic wrap for the other half. So pat this out into a disc. It'll make it easier to roll out when the time comes to roll it out. And grab a piece of plastic wrap and wrap it tightly so that no air can get in. And now you can stick this in the refrigerator for later. So clear your work surface, sprinkle it with a little bit of flour so that the dough doesn't stick. And then you can also sprinkle the top with a little flour too. Pat it out, and then grab your rolling pin and roll it out until it's flat and about 1/4 inch thick. And the way that I like to roll it out is I'm using the weight of the rolling pin, and every so often I'm gonna rotate it just so that I'm making sure that it doesn't stick to the work surface, and also to ensure that I'm rolling it out evenly. How are you guys doing with your dough? Isn't this a fun, satisfying process? I love working with cookie dough. It's like working with clay. We're ready to cut out our circles. This dough is gonna be enough to do 2 of each of my different sizes of cookie cutters. So I'm gonna place my cookie cutter right up against the edge of the dough so that I can get the maximum amount of cookies. I'm going all the way around the edge, making sure to have minimal dough scraps. The less times that we re-roll the scraps, the better the texture of the cookies will be. If you overwork your dough, they might get a little tough. And if you don't have circles, you can use squares, you can use stars for this. You can really cut out any shapes that you want. Now, once you're done cutting out your shapes, grab an offset spatula. If you don't have a small offset spatula, just the smallest spatula that you have, or even a butter knife, and use that to get underneath the cookie and then transfer it to a parchment-lined baking sheet. And when you're placing these on the baking sheet, allow at least 1 inch in between them, because that's gonna allow the cookies to bake evenly on all sides. Now these are ready to bake, Bake them at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're lightly golden around the edges. And while these bake, let's just clean up and then make our frosting. This frosting is a classic American buttercream. It is so easy to make and it's really rich and sweet. You ready? So grab the remaining softened butter and add that to your big bowl. And then also add 2 cups of powdered sugar. This is really the type of thing that you could just eyeball because it does not have to be exact. Now slowly turn on your mixer. Once the powdered sugar starts to incorporate into the butter, you can increase the speed. Once this is going, you can add a pinch of kosher salt, and this will help bring out all the flavors and just balance out that sweetness. I started making these a few years ago. I was going through a phase of making mini cakes all the time. Itsy bitsy cute little layer cakes. And then one day I started making the layers out of cookies. And they were so much fun. They were really stable and they were great for cookie swaps, and you actually get 5 cookies in one. So now they've become a tradition. And you can increase the speed. Once your frosting is looking smooth and creamy, you can add your vanilla and a little almond if you want. I'll add my vanilla, and then a little bit of almond. And those 2 flavors together are so delicious. And to me, they just scream holidays. Also grab some heavy cream. Heavy cream is gonna bring everything together and smooth it out and make the texture so much creamier. I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons. And again, this is something that can be eyeballed too. And now I'll mix this all to combine. And if you don't have heavy cream, you can also use a tablespoon or 2 of whole milk. Now lastly, add your food coloring. We should use green because it's Christmas trees, and I like using this mossy green color. Add a few drops. You can always add more, but it's difficult to take away, so start with a little and then add more until you get the color that you want. How is your frosting looking? Are you smelling your cookies yet? Let's check on them. These are perfect. They are set. They're still pale, so I know they're gonna be a little soft. Okay, I'm gonna let these cool while I finish up my frosting. Now grab your piping bag that's fitted with the tip. And if you don't have a piping bag, you can use a zip top bag with the corner snipped off. Fold the sides down, and I always find it easiest to put it in a big cup or a big measuring cup like this, and that way you'll have both hands free to fill your bag. And grab your spatula and scrape all the frosting into the piping bag. Just plop it right in. We can lose the food coloring and the extracts too. Whenever I'm decorating, I like to have a clean surface. I don't want to have any distractions. Now, grab some serving plates, or I'm gonna use cute little cake stands. Aren't these adorable? Extra special for the holidays. Grab your decorations, so some sprinkles or candies. We are ready to assemble. So fold up the top of your piping bag and smush all the frosting down toward the tip. And as you're doing so, give the top a twist so that the frosting doesn't come out the other end. Add a little pop of frosting to your cake stands so that the cookies don't move around. This is gonna act as your glue. Grab the biggest cookies, stick them down. And then add a layer of frosting. And nice thick layer of frosting. And then smoosh on the next biggest cookie. Like that. And now do it with the remaining cookies. Just like that. These are gonna be really big cookie cakes. Delicious. We'll go right on top. And the last layer of our little cartoon Christmas trees. And then you can finish with a layer of frosting. And then of course, sprinkles to decorate. Oh, we should use a yellow ball to act as the star of the tree. Yeah. Oh, do you guys all have sprinkle tweezers in the kitchen? You should. It'll help with this. And just decorate your Christmas trees however you want. Have fun with it. How cute are these? They look just like little cartoon Christmas trees. Okay, I'm gonna taste one. They're soft and sweet, and the frosting has the perfect amount of almond in it. This is just how a Christmas cookie should taste. Okay, sorry Santa, I'm not saving any for you.